What projects are best for making a profit? Today I'm going to make and try to sell something from Nick Offerman's book, Good Clean Fun. And let me tell you, it did not go how I expected. But don't worry, after multiple fails, I finally got it right. And when I'm done, we'll see if this thing sells. Oh, and on top of all of that, I have one little trick that I figured out I could use to hide my poor craftsmanship. So let's get into episode number 2 of flipping through a book and making whatever my hand lands on and then seeing if it'll sell and telling you if it was worth it. I've been making and selling things online for over 10 years now, and I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what sells, but lately I've been seeing a lot of videos online of all these little projects that you can make and sell. So the whole idea is I'll pick a random woodworking book, open it up to a random page, and just make whatever I see. And as soon as I landed on this project, I had a feeling it was going to be a bit of a challenge. Now, I had originally planned on doing one version with hardwood and one with pallet wood, but that's where I had made all of my mistakes. So we're going to stick with the build that I was happy with, and I will tell you the mistakes I made along the way. I started by drawing out these legs on an 1/8 inch piece of plywood. Then I can bring that plywood over to my bandsaw and cut it out. This is going to be my template for all 3 of my legs. Once I had that cut out, I could draw it onto these pieces of pine that I had laying around, and I could bring those over to the bandsaw and cut them out as well. I try to be as close to the line as I can, but we're going to be bringing this over to the router table in a minute, so it's not a big deal if you're a little bit off. Once I had all 3 of these legs cut out, I could bring the rough shape over to my router table and then use some double-sided tape like you can see right here, and I can stick my template to these legs. With my template nice and secure, I could use a flush trim bit on my router to cut all of these legs to match. The flush trim bit is a really convenient way to get multiple matching pieces. On the top or the bottom of the bit, there's a wheel that is the exact same diameter as the cutting blades of the bit. By running your wheel along the template, your blades will cut your wood to match the template exactly. Just make sure you've removed the majority of your material before you do this, or you'll risk tear out. Also, routers are sketchy as hell, so make sure you're running your board in the right direction and always keep your hands away from it. This tool scares the hell out of me. Once I had all 3 of my legs matching and cut with that template, I could switch out my flush trim bit for a round over bit. I want to round over all the sides of these legs except the square cut where the top is going to go through the seat. So at this point, everything was going good, even in the failed versions of this project, but unfortunately, I was about to run into some big problems. As much as I like to think I know what I'm doing, I don't always. It's time to make the seat of this. When it came to the pallet version, I had stood the pallet boards up on their side and glued them all together, but I don't think I used enough glue because as soon as I started working on these, they fell apart. I glued it back together, but more failures came later that I won't bore you with. Let's just say that this seat ended up in my fire pit. That didn't matter that much to me because it's just pallet wood, but I had this piece of cherry that my dad gave to me that I completely messed up and I'm still upset about. Once I had this whole entire seat cut out, I figured I could just drill some holes in it and use a chisel to cut it out nice and square. Sometimes I like to imagine I'm like this old-timey woodworker with just hand tools, but I suck at that. If I'm being honest, I'm terrible. But in an effort to make it all the way through this project, I was hammering it down and the entire top split. I actually did end up using the legs from the cherry on another seat, which also came out horrible. But like I said earlier, in the end, I'll show you how I hid all my terrible mistakes. So if you're terrible at using hand tools, you can hide your mistakes as well. Let's get back to the one that went well, and I can tell you how I did it. Before I cut the seat to rough size on my bandsaw, I marked out the center with a simple X from corner to corner. Now that I had a rough circle cut, I could drill a hole directly into the center in the bottom of my seat while making it a point to not go all the way through. This is a 12-inch wide seat, so I drilled a hole 6 inches away from my table saw blade on this table saw sled. Once that hole was drilled, I could put a screw through the bottom, sticking out the top of the table saw sled like so. A nail would probably work better because you're going to be spinning this seat on the screw or nail, and if you're spinning it on a screw, it's going to tighten up on you. But a screw was all I had, so I made it work. So you're going to place the hole you drilled into your seat directly onto the screw, and then by passing your seat through the table saw, backing the sled up, passing it through again, and repeating this over and over again, you create a perfect circle. This can also be a pretty dangerous technique, so just make sure you're holding on tight and take your time. With that done, it was time to mark out the top and figure out where I was going to cut these mortises. Now I want these to be placed perfectly on the top of this, or else this seat is going to look shitty. So to do that, here's a simple technique. Take your compass and set it to half the diameter. This will be easy to find because you marked the X on the bottom of your seat earlier. And then you can put the sharp point of your compass on the very edge of your piece of wood and draw this little arch, I guess, through the center. Then move over to one of the ends of that arch and do the same thing. Repeat that all the way around the top of your circle until you have what looks like a drawing of a flower, I guess. Now you should have 6 equally divided points on top of your circle. From there you can just draw some straight lines down the middle of them to divide this nice and evenly and place all of your mortises where they need to go. With everything marked out, it was time to cut the perfect mortise. That's right. This technique is the best way to cut these out. I had a piece of 3/4 inch plywood that I used for this, but a 1/2 inch piece would work just fine. I ripped it into 2 pieces on my table saw. Then I took the top of these legs and used that as a reference to set my table saw fence to the right width. With it set, I could cut this thin strip that's going to go down the middle of this little jig. I cut that piece in half and then I could screw it all together like so. You're going to want the hole in your jig to be the same exact size as the top of each one of these legs. So push it all together nice and tight and then screw it together. If you want to have a more permanent jig, you could glue it all together and use something like a Craig jig, but I'm only making this project once, so I'm alright with what I got. It's freezing out here. I had to put a sweatshirt on, sorry. Alright, where were we? So now that I got this simple little jig, I can line it up with the lines that I drew on the top of this seat. I just use a couple screws on the outside of this jig to screw it down and hold this piece tight to my workbench top. With that done, I use another flush trim bit to route out the majority of this mortise. And let me tell you, this is the way to go when you're doing something like this. 1,000 times easier, 1,000 times cleaner, and oh my god, what a pain in the ass a chisel alone is. To anybody out there that's a chisel person, oh my god, so much respect. So with my flush trim bit, I can literally plunge this router down, set it to where I needed it to, lock it into place, move it around a couple times, and aside from the corners, I was all done cutting this out. Now because a router bit is round, you're going to get rounded over corners. You're going to have to chisel out the corners, but that's nothing compared to what I was doing before. And these legs slid into place perfectly. With that done, I marked them and brought them back over to my bandsaw where I could just cut a nice simple slot down the middle of them to insert a wedge, which will hold these legs in place. Some glue, sanding, and sealing, and this beauty was done. Now, while I post this thing to sell, let me show you what I did to hide my terrible mortises from the original stool. As I was routing out the mortises for the new stool, it had me thinking about all the times I had done bow tie inlays that went bad. To fix them, I just made bigger bow tie inlays. So I decided to take that thought and apply it to the first stool. Unfortunately, I didn't have any more of the cherry wood left, which would have made this look much better. But I'm going to be keeping this, and honestly I kind of feel like visible mistakes aren't that bad. Just a nice little reminder of the work you put into something to get to the better version. So I just made a jig that was a little bit bigger than the mortises I had cut earlier, and then I could use the plunge router and I set it at about 1/4 inch deep and removed all of the material, and then I could cut some pieces to fit right into those spaces. This worked pretty good. I think some end grain would have looked much better and way more realistic. Honestly, I just wanted to test this out and see what I thought. I'll be keeping this trick in my pocket for future mistakes I make, and I'm sure there will be plenty of those. Now let's see if this thing sold. I posted this on a Tuesday for $175, which seems like a lot, but I had a plan. I was going to lower the price by $25 a day until I hit $50. If it didn't sell by the time the week was over, I would just keep it. So 5 days later, it eventually hit $50, and I figured I was going to be keeping it. But on the last day, I got a text message from a friend. Sold it, $50. So, is this worth building? I'd say if you're looking to make a fast profit, probably not. It took me 5 hours to make this, and I sold it for $50. You do the math. But if you're looking to feel accomplished and like you made something that you're actually proud of, then this is definitely worth making. And for me, I'd rather have something that I'm excited about than fast money. Well, I say that today, but ask me again when I'm broke.
Bye, see you again, and have a good dream.